your
man,
breast
why are
when
you
you're-
showing me your breast?
So
Are you trying
no,
to tempt
men
me?
don't have breast. We
Who
don't
said
have
so?
breast. We
You
don't
don't
have
have
breast.
breast.
Who said
Nigga,
so?
I don't get breast. So what would you like me to cook for you? If you ask, what's your favorite?
You know what? My favorite. I love plantain.
Oh, yeah? What
plantain.
kind of plantain?
Mwah.
So there's this plantain and egg.
Oh, I don't like egg.
You don't like egg?
I don't like egg.
Okay, do you like,
I like
you like
Chinese.
you like vegetables though?
I like
Do
vegetables.
you like fish?
Yeah, I
Okay,
like
so there's this.
seafood.
You
I
like
don't like
seafood?
meat actually, to be honest, unless it's steak.
Okay.
Uh-uh.
I had to get all moisturized because I'm gonna show skin.
Who is scared? Hey! Oh, look at the back! Hey!
Is the
Look
fact
at
that
that!
is the fact that she wants so much is okay.
Look at the bag. Must be nice. God, where's my booty at? Thank God.
Oh my God.
I see God has favorites.
My dear, it's
Oh
a really
my
nice
God.
life. I had plantain. I'm sorry. I had New Year's giving plantain or cooking. Did I?
We're getting there.
Did I?
I had egg and plantain.
Did I?
No, I was.
I feel like I don't know if
just-
it's my mind that is bad, but like I'm sorry, but like eggs and plantain. Wow. That was a very steep. That's gonna be a very steamy
Eggs
dish.
and plantain.
I
mean, I
mean,
know
why you
every
gotta ruin
plantain.
it for
I know the
me?
funny thing.
I was
I know the funny thing. A plantain must come with 2 eggs. A good plantain.
Because you
must
can't
come
eat it
with 2
solo. It
eggs.
doesn't
No,
work
you
that
can't.
way.
No,
You can't- and
you need the plantain.
you-
I need 2 eggs.
I need to be quite filling, you know.
Yeah.
It needs to settle in.
Yeah, 2
Yeah.
eggs. Like you
I
need to
don't
fry
know what
with
I'm supposed to
2
be
eggs.
thinking
It's
about now.
plantain. But it's alright.
We're
It's alright.
talking about plantain and
Plantain
eggs.
and
I
egg,
feel
of
like sure,
course.
you need to cleanse your
With
mind. 'Cause
vegetables.
What do you
and
think we're
everything.
talking
What do you
about?
think we're talking about? I'm talking about. Would you think if they give you 1 plantain and 1 egg,
And
the
1
egg,
egg, does
you
it
think the
feel
egg will be
right?
enough for the plantain? No.
I don't like
course
egg.
not.
You
I
need
don't
2
want the egg.
eggs.
I just want the plantain with some sauce.
Oh, so
you
you
just
just,
need
you
some-
just
you
like,
just need the
okay.
I just want
plantain.
The sauce, interesting.
I like plantain. I don't like eggs.
No,
I
it's
like
alright,
the
it's alright.
Chinese.
It's
I mean,
all
everybody
good.
looks really nice today. I like that we're showing skin. Like
Yeah,
everybody's showing
everyone's
skin.
on
I
ties
love
and-
it. Like
wow.
well,
I swear.
My food
Everybody's
part.
shining. I love it. I love it. I really love it.
I love that we're showing skin because it's giving. It's very much in line with today's discussion, which is I'm proudly immodest. I feel like I need to put that out there.
Okay.
I don't like. Don't give me
Period.
something that's going to billow. Don't give me something that's going to flare. I don't want long sleeves. I don't want. No, it has to
Let me
come.
roll
Like
them up.
I need to to tape my body. It has. If the skirt is going to be long, like personally,
Tape
I don't
my
wear long
body.
skirts. So if the skirt is going to be long, the
It's gotta be a
slit
slit
has to
to
be
follow.
very. The slit has to slit.
Where's the slit leading to?
My dear, the promised land.
The paradise, baby.
Oh,
paradise.
Hey, Cliche, my
Is
thing
there-
to say.
Paradise.
My visit your promised land. Okay, now check this.
My God.
But yeah, proudly immodest, because I think modesty is overrated. Okay, anyway, and modesty is overrated. Sue me. Like I feel like it's also very relative and subjective. Because what is modest to me might not be what is modest to you.
Yeah, true
If
that.
somebody comes here and is full on, jalabia, hijab,
Yeah.
scarf type thing, that is modest to them. And if somebody else comes and is like, full on long sleeve, long skirt, but doesn't cover their hair, to some people,
Yeah.
that's immodest. So
Yeah.
I think it should be very subjective and very relative. What do you think, Neo?
Modesty. I feel like first of all, I feel like background affects all of that. In a
So I think
very-
modesty can also be in character, not just appearance.
Yeah. Character exactly. But I feel like one of the things people read first is the appearance.
Yeah.
Like
We are in a very superficial world.
Very,
People read you
yeah.
on how you
I
look
feel like
like.
the world has always been superficial, to be honest.
I don't know. I feel like
has it?
your environment actually, because
Yeah.
I feel
Like
like
I said,
sometimes
the
when I'm with
environment.
like if I'm outside of London, if I'm up north or I went to uni in Sheffield, right? So if I'm up north or around those people, they're not looking at what I look. They're like, oh my, let's go here, or we'll go to the pub and you want to have a meal for like $4.99 and it's a day out. Whereas in London, going to the pub is like, oh, we're going to watch the game. It's not an outing. Whereas when I was in uni, that was like a thing. Like,
A thing
let's
to
go
look
out.
forward
Like
to,
we would
yeah.
look forward to let's go revolution. Like, and drinks are like £2 and whatever. And it was a something. Whereas I feel like in London, if a guy was like, oh, let's go to the pub, you were like, you put it in a group chat, this nigga wants to take me to the pub. Can you imagine?
Yeah,
but up
like
north, it's a date. It's like,
I
it's
can
a
go to
nice
the place
thing.
with my friend, but I don't want to go there on a date now.
No, but I'm saying, so I feel like depending where
I mean
you
the
are,
place
depends
we're
how
around to, but
superficial
yeah.
it
Yeah.
is. And I guess that's also where modesty comes from.
comes
Like,
in,
also,
as well.
who
The
defines,
environment as well.
like, who defines modesty? What is modesty? And I feel like, you can't, sometimes, like, you just, that perfect example, you could be a woman wearing a hijab and you could think you're modest. And you can be wearing, be covered up from head to toe and have your hair showing, and someone else can think you're indecent. But
You're not modest enough.
Who actually, like, where is the law of this is modest, this is immodest? Who draws the line? Who decides all these things? Because I feel like in Nigeria, me personally,
Yeah.
and I'm chesty as well. I feel like most of the comments I get about being indecent or not dressing modest comes from the older generation, and I'm like, well, because you don't have breasts to show. Why? No, but like, if you're a
don't take
chesty
it out
person,
on me.
Yeah,
Yes.
if you're a
but
chesty person, it's actually something very hard to hide.
Sorry,
Like,
someone
unless you
tweeted
wear
something that
chesty,
are you
yeah.
modest or do you just have a B cup? And that was actually
what?
yeah. Are you modest or do you just have a B cup?
Wow,
Because yes,
damn.
to be honest,
A B cup, you got
Let me
small
give you
titties.
yeah. Let me give you a scenario. To be very
oh,
honest, there. As somebody
you guys,
who has
you guys need to educate me when you say stuff like that because I don't know.
as somebody who has
Abi,
grown
how
up
many-
having a very
Cup.
big bum bum, I'm putting that out there. Like in
Yeah.
SS3, my friends balanced the
Cut
Fanta
when-
bottle. I kid you not, on my bum. So like yeah, as somebody who has
Wait, they did what?
they balanced the Fanta
Abba, bro,
bottle.
when I
Fanta bottle.
we have to do that thing on set. Like,
Wait, hold on, let me
very
tell you
Like
this
I've
shit.
done Fanta bottle, I've done
In
ruler, I've done
opposite-
light bulb, I've done short bread. Like it's
Azu,
crazy.
you don't do
So
Azu.
no,
No, guys do
make-
Azu.
Google
Ding,
money.
ding, ding,
No, you
ding,
guys
ding.
do Azu because that's
No,
very.
but honestly, as somebody who has grown up like that, say whatever I wear has always been subject of scrutiny compared to
Yeah.
somebody that's a smaller
Like me,
size
that looks
wearing
like
the
this
same thing.
ruler.
Yeah.
I can wear like now. Let's say we wear the same thing, like a skirt, and let's say the skirt like ordinarily is knee length and fitted. Shayo wears it. So,
Yeah.
okay, fine, she's modest, she's this.
Slim,
I wear the
different.
same skirt, and it's like you are trying to entice. Like
Look at all that ass.
it's not a
Yeah,
flex
all the
trap.
assets.
I just
Well,
look like this. Like
I feel like
I'm banging. Like
for
I
me-
can't help it.
for
He
me,
said,
I feel
"I'm
like
banging."
yeah,
This is like, let
they're
echo it.
different.
No, I'm not
Yeah,
banging.
banging,
Please.
Abby.
I'm not banging. Sorry, my body is. I don't
The
do
body
that
is-
in public, but my body is banging. Like, just modesty is very like. Aside it being subjective, relative, it's also very. I don't know what word will I say, like classist, but like bodyist. I don't know if people understand what I'm trying to
Yeah,
say.
I
It's
get
also
what
like
you
really
mean.
subject to your body.
I do agree
Yeah.
that I can wear something and I might look modest, like you said. I do agree, but I feel like again, I
what
don't know.
determines the factors of being modest, right? Because for me, with that's like what determines the factors of modesty or whatever. For me, I feel like there's so many things. Like as a human being, your environment plays a very huge role. The kind of home you grew up, your religion, the kind of country you're in, the kind of where you work. It could be anything. The kind of work you do. So all these things play like a very, 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 very high, like should I say, very high motion to what modesty could seem like, or what people can take or what people cannot take. You're growing up in a house that that is, let's say, is a Christian, very Christian home. You're not allowed to wear skirts below your knee. You're not allowed to do all of that stuff. Growing up, that would naturally be what you think
Your standard.
should be your standard
Yeah.
for
So
modesty.
You're saying that religion does have an
Religion plays one of the highest.
religion,
What?
morality, culture,
Religion?
real heavy
Oh.
on that.
Stop it. Religion is the highest.
Yes.
Don't worry, because that's just how it is. Because even your parents themselves, right? They would want to think from a religion perspective.
Yeah.
Because that's where it's almost like that's where everybody draws.
I'm sorry,
The-
but our parents are really
the-
heavy on thinking about, like, they really care too much about what other people think, and that's
But
quite
funny
sad.
But you
enough,
know,
that's just
I
how
feel
it
like when
is.
you're making serious bar, they don't give a heck.
Anymore.
Like
True.
there's a picture I see, like when Burna Boy is smoking weed, right?
No,
and
but-
then somebody says it's like a meme and it says, "Oh, at what age?" And it said, "No, at what wage?"
No,
I feel like
no.
when
I
you're
feel like-
making bastard money,
No, it's not a matter of
the
making
way
bad
they
sense. I feel
start
like
to
no,
think-
it gets to a point where you are totally responsible for what you claim to be modest to you, to your family, and to the people that look up to you. That's just how it is. So your parents would naturally say, look, definitely there were days that Burna Boy want to go to the club. His mother would be like, are you fucking mad? Sit there. And he wouldn't go because he doesn't have
Yeah.
the right. He's not that kind of person yet. He cannot say he is the person that can just stand up and be the kind of person he wants to be. But when you get there, you get to a point where you are your own man. My papa of it, see, my part-time, my father literally said, what do you want to do? Do you want to be a footballer or what? I am a lawyer. I can't have you looking like this. I had to cut I was just telling you guys about how many times I had to cut my hair.
Yeah.
That's my father's own ideology of what, modesty should seem like. But since I blew, my papa won't call me for when they say make I cut my hair.
I'm screaming. Sorry,
it
I
cannot
remember this
happen.
picture I took. Sorry, it's like circa
You know?
2019. I took this picture. I went to Oriental. So I took this picture. I think I still have it somewhere on my phone. And I was standing by the bar and there are like bottles of alcohol and stuff and all of that. And I sent it to my family group chat because like, what's super, super. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
and my dad was like,
Error.
oh, why are you standing?
Error.
What did you do? Because my parents are actually super unconventional and quite, liberal. But for that particular picture, my dad was like, oh, what does it say? Blah, 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 standing beside this and that and that and that. Fast forward to like 2021, I signed a deal with like an alcohol brand. I was like a brand influencer for them for like a year. I used to get like cartons and cartons of tequila coming to my house. My father went to bury somebody in the village.
Be
It's my
there.
cartons of tequila that
Be
this man took
there.
with him. So
That's just how it is.
yeah. So
That's
I
just
think
how it is.
it's then if modesty can be subjective to things, then why should he apply? Like, it's not a holistic concept in that what is right should be right, what is wrong should be wrong. So if a concept can be subjective to a situation, why then should it guide everybody's life? Since, there are different situations and things happening.
So, I mean, I agree with everything you guys are saying. I do feel, what I actually do feel is that when it comes to modesty is projected on women. When people talk about modesty, men are like an afterthought. Like, you would never hear someone say, this man is dressed so modest. You'll never hear them say this guy, or you already ever say this guy is dressed indecent.
Have you heard of the term modest man before?
Yeah, never.
Have you heard
I feel like this is
a real stroke right there. You guys are trying to pin.
I'm
saying that, like, you're actually being very honest.
And like I said, for me, being chesty, like growing up chesty, sometimes you just want to wear a t-shirt and go, why is your breast out? The same t-shirt I'm wearing, the same t-shirt she's wearing. Why is it that because she does not have breasts, it's me that you're fighting? You two guys, but me, I'm a bit of I like to attack back. But
you give
I
them
feel
back.
like people, number one, like, what is indecent? Is it because I have is it because I have certain private parts on the show? Because I feel like if I'm wearing something like this, right, they might not say I'm indecent. But if I'm having maybe some cleavage shown, because your breast is a private part, right? If I have cleavage shown, does that then mean that, because I'm showing private part, I'm indecent? But it's cleavage. It's not the whole breast. It's not like it's the whole...
Okay, yeah.
Talking about it to women, I've always said it because, I mean, like, people say, oh, go out shirtless. I mean, men are allowed to walk around shirtless. Men will literally be walking. First, Nigerian men will stand on the road. And people are literally whipping out your things and you're standing on the road to pee.
Anyhow,
people are doing those things, but nobody considers it immodest. They'll even park on the road for it. Come piss. But if as a woman, I show small things, it's a problem.
But nobody says that.
Indecent and immodest are two different things.
But they're two different things, but then they play into each other.
Yeah, kind of.
And then in Nigeria, it's more or less the same thing. If you're immodest, you're indecent.
Yeah. I feel like in Nigeria, being modest or being indecent is projected on women.
Primarily
mostly.
on women.
Like, let me put it this way. I can wear an outfit to church, right?
Yeah.
That same outfit, if I wore it to the club, I can imagine at least 5 people say, why are you coming like, just like going to church? But if a guy wore trad, wear church, wear that same thing, go brunch, wear the same thing to dinner, wear the same thing to the club, they'll help you out.
Let's be honest. Let's call it spade a spade.
Oh yeah,
let's
be
go.
honest.
Let's call it spade a spade.
Let's get ready for honesty.
Do you guys understand that in this life, a man and a woman are two separate things?
Nobody said they were the same thing.
Do you understand? So it's this modesty thing we're talking about now. You not feel really put on for man as much as you're putting it on a woman. I'm being very honest.
Based on why?
No, that's the situation as it stands. Now, what is the justification behind it?
What is the justification behind it? Naturally, I'll feel like there's no justification. Okay. But if we want to say, let's walk around naked, all of us, let's all walk around
like
totally.
We did in the Bible.
Like we did in the Bible. Let's all walk around totally naked.
Yeah.
How many parts of a man's body do you think he's going to cover? It's a simple question.
Sorry?
How many parts of a man's body do you think he is going to cover?
If he was to cover up?
Yeah.
He should cover 2 parts.
What? Where?
His breast and
his nipples
private.
and his
because I'm sorry.
He should cover his
nipples.
He should cover his chest.
Okay, wait.
No, I'm not
big guy.
I'm not claiming side.
You know, cover all your breasts.
No, I'm sorry. I think as a man, why are you? No, okay, fine. As a man, why are you showing me your breast?
So no, men don't have breasts. We don't have breasts. We don't have breasts. I don't get breasts.
I'm a child of God.
Okay, good. What's this?
This is my head.
What's this?
My chest.
What's this?
My chest.
But wait. It's also my chest.
So it's your chest.
No, but it's because you're not. But big guys have breasts. It's because you don't have. It's the same way.
We don't have breasts.
It's the same way she said. Someone with small breasts can wear top and get away with it. Someone with bigger breasts can't.
You know that there are women that have the kind of same.
So guys
they have the
breasts,
same front presenting thing as you do.
Yes.
Be good. So if a woman now, let's say, I don't like using words like that, but let's say as a woman, my chest is somewhat flat or not so big. Do you get
smaller?
Thank you. Smaller. It's all right for me to take it off because I don't have quote unquote breasts.
If you say so.
If I say so. Can you see this is just the hypocrisy.
No,
because listen,
it's
all right for me to stand on the side of the road and whip out
I'm
their
talking
dicks,
about like I'm talking about like on a because you guys should take one thing from me. I like to be honest with myself first. Before I try to be honest with any other person. Let's be honest. If me and you now we date, okay, you know what? The world has changed.
For disclaimer, we are not dating.
Well, yeah.
Chill.
Because okay, we're not like, okay, fine, let's walk around naked, right? With pride, your own pride now. Where do you think? Me, naturally, I'll be like, let me cover this because I don't want anybody seeing this, right? That is what my instincts will tell me. Don't lie to yourself. What would your instincts tell you?
If I had to cover one body part straight
Not
away.
one body part. If you had to cover you feel like there's some body parts you like to cover.
I like the scenario that you've
Where
painted.
do you think?
Obviously,
I'm not talking about what your parents are telling you
obviously,
now.
no, yes.
I'm not telling you about what your religion is telling you now.
Let me put it this way.
I'm
Yeah.
just
If
asking
I'm
you, where would
changing,
you like
right,
to cover?
I'm butt naked and someone walks in the room, what's the first thing I do? This is it.
Exactly.
Good. No, see, but what you've done is state the situation as it stands.
Yeah.
That is it. And you're not giving me that justification because the same God that created man, created woman, gave us two fronts, two back to everything.
two back, two
now,
front.
for me, the logic behind covering up is not biological. It is social.
Okay, yeah,
That is the
that
logic
makes sense.
behind it. And that is what my problem is. Because it is not right. What should be food for the goose should be food for the gander.
Okay.
If it's all right for me to cover my chest as a woman, why can't you cover your chest as a man? And they'll say, okay, no. They'll tell you, oh, as a woman, your breasts are making milk.
Who's
It's
telling you
sexual.
that? Who's telling
So
you
you
that?
think that if a man puts off his shirt here, I won't be turned on?
You will?
I won't.
Just his shirt.
I won't.
I'm telling you, who is telling
I
you that?
won't.
Who's telling you
That's
that?
what society says. That's
I
my
mean,
problem.
so
if that's the
You get my
case,
point? Like,
because
it
I'm
double
saying that
standards
the reason
of
why
modesty for men and women.
the reason why I'm coming from the angle I'm coming from because I feel like everyone is entitled to their body. Number one, show us where you like. We like to see. It's fine.
A bad boy.
Show us anywhere and anyhow. But let's be honest. In a typical scenario, just like she said,
Based off
someone
of
is
social
jumping
reasons,
in. No,
not biological
this is not social reasons. This is your own reason now, auntie.
It's because of my social conditioning. Now. That's why I cover my
This one
breast.
not social.
That,
There's
that's
nobody
my
there.
distance.
You are changing and I just jump in. Where will you cover? You will leave the chest and say, "Oh, don't worry, Neo will not be turned on by this one. It's just chest, Abby."
I'm not denying that I will cover here and here. But the point is, why am I
That's what I'm
doing
saying.
it? It's social condition, not because
No,
my body will
let's leave
see,
social.
If it's that my body
There's
will
nobody
squeeze, if a
here.
man should see me naked, it's a different
there is
thing.
nobody. I'm trying to prove to you now that it could be very biological because me turning you on and you turning me on is very biological. Do you understand what I'm saying? So there's nobody here, no single soul, no cameras, no whatever, but you're just changing and then I jump in. What will your first natural human instinct do?
That natural human instinct has been honed
my
by
God.
years of social conditioning.
Hold on.
Has been honed by years of social conditioning. It
I
is not
agree.
biological. It has been honed by years of social conditioning because I've always wanted to see, if not for the fact that okay, human beings have lives and other. It would be really nice to see an experiment where men and women, or like from childhood, are raised the same way with no gender roles. As per no woman enters the kitchen to wash, because everybody goes into the kitchen, does the cooking, washing plates, change lights bulbs, do all those things that stereotypically considered gender roles for man and woman. And it would be really nice to see how we end up turning out because like I said, everything has to do with social conditioning. As a girl growing up, you see your older brothers, your dads walking around shirtless around the house. But as a woman, you're being told, okay, cover up. Don't put your breast out there. You're going to church, cover up. Going to school, cover up. That is honing my instincts to social condition. It's not biological. It is not biological.
Let me
That's
flip it
my
for you,
point.
actually. Let me flip it for you. And you're not allowed to say Heidi, right? Let me search it for you. How many famous female chefs do you know?
Female what?
Female chefs, do you know?
Tata,
Exactly, but women are supposed to be in the
Hilda.
kitchen.
Women's supposed to be in the
Per.
kitchen.
How many
Gordon
famous
I know
female
Gordon Ramsay,
chefs do you know? But a woman's role is to be in the kitchen. Yet when it comes to being a
30 billion
professional,
for you.
we're
30
dominated
billion.
by
Can I get
men.
money to spray Shayo, please? Can I get money to
Well,
spray Shayo?
that, I
know
don't
Gordon
really know.
I know Gordon Ramsay.
Because me,
I know this
I'm
guy
not-
from that bakes on
No, but
TLC,
actually think about, okay, you could even
Because
say
it's more-
and Crocker or Auntie Betty or what
I-
is it
should
called?
I-
Maple
should I say-
syrup.
Martha Stewart.
Should I say
Betty
it's
Crocker,
more?
I
It's
think.
more. It's more. Should I say it's more socially fascinating? If you ask me,
That was.
yeah. You see, you're already smiling.
No, that was.
All these ladies, when I know what they do, now they set men up so that men will call it.
No.
You guys
So
love
wait.
the idea of a man cooking. You love the idea of the man being the chef. You
No,
love
wait,
the idea.
I love the idea of
That's not
somebody
the
else
truth.
cooking
That's
and
not
somebody
the- that's
else
just
cooking
the
the
gospel
and
truth.
somebody else cutting up the ingredients
See,
and
don't
doing.
tell me you
Look
can't
at
do
that.
cooking.
truth.
It's
Now,
fine.
some
I'm not
Everything is
saying
already
now.
settled.
Why we don't bring them back to woman should not be in the kitchen. Woman
No,
should
I'm
be.
not saying
So now
that.
let's
No,
wait.
wait,
No,
that's
no,
not what I
Why is
said.
it? Why is
You
it?
said that. Remember that women
You're
and
saying
male.
women should not be in the kitchen.
saying
Abi?
that.
Wait,
Okay.
wait, before we reach there,
Yeah,
you
okay.
said that men and women are not the same, right? That
Biologically, they're
we're not the
Yeah.
same biologically, but we
Yeah.
have the same body parts. You have a chest and a nipple.
We don't have the same body parts.
Wait, now I don't they?
How do we have the same body parts? You're telling us that we have the
But
same
you
body
have
parts.
breasts that have
I
breasts.
don't
You
have
have-
nothing
the
here.
only thing
I
that's
have
different in our
just
body
killed
is
it.
here.
private parts, right? Which you're
I have just one.
You're supposed to have two. This is a private
This
part.
is not
and
a private part.
Okay, it's subjective, but we have private
Social
parts.
conditioning. Here is
So
a
I'm
private
saying that,
part.
for example, social conditioning, right? We're told, right, from what you're
Yeah.
saying, that men and women are different. What you're told, women are supposed to be in the kitchen cooking and cleaning. How is it when it's a profession? When it's looking at it on a professional level, you know more male chefs than you do females. There's
It's
a
heavily
minimum amount
dominated
of
by men
female
as well.
professional chefs. Yet
Yeah.
that is our role. That's what we're trained, and so like that is what we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that men, we love a nigga that can cook. Like chef it up, baby. That's period.
Thank
But
you.
wait, I really want to flip it. Do you feel like, would you allow your partner to tell you how to dress? Like, okay, let's use you for
Okay, how to
example. You
dress,
have
yeah.
you have an award show coming on,
Yeah.
right? You're wearing this 3-piece. You're wearing this 3-piece suit,
Yeah.
bad, looking like James Bond.
Yeah.
Period. And she comes wearing something.
With your man bun up.
Oh yeah,
with my
blowout.
man done
You don't fresh blowout.
now
Woo!
slicked
The
lid.
wind is blowing in your edges in your hair. And she's there with her. I'm just gonna wear like she's not looking like your other half. Would you? Like how?
Whose other half is she now? It's not looking like
No,
your
but
other
like,
half.
would you?
Sorry.
Let's say you have this award show. You even know
Yeah.
you've won an award. You know you're gonna
And I
get
want
up
her
on
to
stage,
look-
and then she was. You know, they said that you have to come as someone. Naturally, you've already said that she's gonna walk on there with you,
Yeah.
and she's like, "Babe, this is what I want to wear."
Okay.
Dun dun.
And then
Like
she's looking like what?
it's
What's she
just
looking like?
not.
Not your other half.
It's not giving.
Is she looking like a man?
It's not giving. It's
Or she's
not.
not-
It's not even a fashion statement. It's not about where it's from, because it can be expensive and still look trash.
Yeah.
It's just not. Let's say it's not modest. Let's say she wants to come in a sheer dress, naked,
and-
titties out.
Yeah.
Maybe she's a naturalist, unshaved.
Yeah.
Just-
Ooh, unshaved. Ooh,
Hey.
That's
okay.
a comment we should go
Eh,
down.
eh.
Just natural armpit, just a
Okay.
naturalist, and she's coming
Child,
there.
I'll go foul.
And
Even
like,
down to the
Let's go foul.
armpit.
yes, now natural.
So, but now the thing
What
is,
is your?
what is? See, I am very
He's
big.
not gonna
on-
answer this question.
If I
but
don't answer,
now
I'll
you
make
know
a
you're
wine.
not gonna-
See, I keep telling you guys, I am very big on honesty, right?
Mm-hmm.
If that's the kind of person I fuck with, if that's the kind of person I know that, see, I love how you go crazy and that's how you can be. Because naturally, if I'm dating you and I want you to be on that show with me, on that stage or that platform with me at that time, definitely I know the kind of person that you are. I can vouch for your character and I can vouch for your person. So if she's coming with that energy,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I should already know the person I'm dating.
Mm-hmm.
And that has to be something I should be able to take.
Mhm.
And definitely I won't stop you, because loving somebody is not controlling the person. If you love somebody, you have to let the person be the person.
And he is looking for
You know,
a
you're
wife.
speaking idealistic.
He looking for a wife.
What is-
I
I'm
know,
not
but I
speaking
love
about
it,
the
no, but I
answer
love
question,
it,
I
yeah.
understand
Be
now.
booed
Yeah,
up and
true.
love
It's-
guys like I hate it on these streets. Me too.
Like, do you understand? So come like that. But
So really-
when you
No,
are
but
coming,
that situation aside
and that
now.
is not
No,
the
but
kind of
I'm
person
saying
I
that you
know.
look at not even. I'm just saying like I don't want to describe something that it's in. I don't
No,
even
you
think
already
that's
described
immodest.
that.
I'm
Like,
just saying, but
almost naked
what is
and
in
stuff.
modest for you, or what is not like
in my partner, right?
not in a partner? Let's say you have somewhere to go,
Okay.
and they said this is what I'm gonna wear, and you're like, okay, like. Would you
What
tell
are-
them
what
you're
are your
not dressed
personal
modest?
standards of
Okay, we're going
modesty?
to a funeral.
I
We're going to a
think.
funeral,
Okay,
and you
okay.
want to wear a see-through dress. People are mourning. We've been taught to wear black.
Give them
You want to
something
wear a
to
red
smile
lace.
about.
That's
Like
that's
that's not in that situation,
Mhm.
right? It's not modest, right? Because I feel like modesty is also applicable to situation,
environment,
right? It's
yeah.
applicable to the environment. So in that situation, we're going to a funeral.
Mhm.
They already know you're gonna come. You're gonna do a
Yeah,
speech. This person
yeah,
was really close to you,
yeah.
and you're wearing your black hair. You're wearing your suit, black and
Mhm.
white, blah. And she comes in this red lace,
Nah,
nude
she-
ensemble.
if
Do you feel like it's your place to say you're
No.
not dressed modest?
is my
Or
place.
you would take her to, like, how would you address that?
Well,
Address,
for me,
like-
I feel like first of all, it's definitely good. If I see for just like the way you said now, we are supposed to go be at a function that has already set the theme or the mood for what we're supposed to come like.
Mhm.
You are going there morning. You're not going there to spray money and dance and clap your hands. Do
Mhm.
you understand? So you're already supposed to look a certain way. And then we all know, everybody knows general social standards. I already said, okay, if you're going for like a funeral, one of the ways to mourn someone who is passing is to wear
To be
black.
sober, yeah.
So you don't even need me as your
To
boy.
tell you.
Society is already correcting you. So I am the closest person to you. So if I don't say anything, it's almost like I'm leading you on to a trap to just feel embarrassed at the end of the day.
I even think that situation is quite specific because speaking
It's
generally,
very-
like, oh, that is a very
it's too
specific situation. I feel
I
like,
feel like the award
generally the thing
show-
is, oh, Should you dictate how your partner should dress? If not, like, okay, now, like someone like me now, I'm not gonna tell. Like, I can suggest, okay, babe, I'm wearing this, so wear this type of thing, and that's fine. As my man, you can tell me, oh, babe, let's pull up, let's do this and do that. But then, so not tell me like in total nitty gritty that in that what you're wearing, to like to try and dictate. It's one thing to suggest.
So if your guy told you, babe, go and change, you're not dressed modest, how would you feel? Like, let's say you're wearing this ensemble now. We're going to brunch, right? Let's say we're going to brunch in one of those restaurants that want to be wear Brooks, wear Needham jean, and you pull up like this. You pull up like you're like, babe, this is what I want to wear, and he's like, oh, you're not dressed modest. Like,
how are you going to take that?
I don't even think they born him well to say
that's the thing. They're not
like,
born you.
Like, no, but think of the type of guy that she would dress. No, think of the guy that she would date.
Anybody that I'm meeting already knows that. Just like, I'm a very open person about how I live my life. Dress, for me, even dressing the way I do now, for me, started off as a statement. Growing up, I've always been big. I've always had. I remember when I started getting like stretch marks on like my arm and my shoulder. God, I used to cry. I'd get my mom to buy me stretch mark creams. I would go to church. I'm wearing a long sleeve, but I'm still taking a scarf because I don't want people seeing my body. I know how many nights I struggled with thinking my body was horrible, thinking my body was a problem, and I would deck and I would wear everything to cover up and fit all the standards of modesty, not because I wanted to be this way, but because I thought I am the problem.
You were comfortable.
So getting to a point where I'm comfortable in my body, I love my body, I'm accepting my body. I feel like I want to show that I want to wear those things I couldn't wear, like things that were stopping me from doing like what I'm doing. So anyone that meets me, anytime we start getting serious, I start saying, okay, these are the struggles I've been through. This is who I am. This is what shaped me to who I am. This is who I am and how I am now. For you to come and walk up to me or meet me, you've seen me already.
Yeah.
I'm not going to present, like you can see me in a business function. I will dress, okay, how I think I should dress. Not what people think I should wear, but how I should dress appropriately for that function.
That's the word we need to use, appropriate.
How to dress appropriately.
I think modesty has to do with being appropriate as well.
That function.
Yeah, because
I think modesty has to do with being appropriate. Sorry, I just thought of Lizard. There was a thing, she got some backlash like a while back where she wore some Lizzo.
Is it that sheer dress that kind of like
no, not shared, like something at a basketball game, and they're like, oh, Lizzo's promoting nudity, and she was like, what if Rihanna wore this?
That's what
y'all have shit to say.
Aside this like, so double standard for gender, there's also body double standards.
There is, and
for modesty.
Actually,
if you wore a backless dress like in one of our episodes, and you wore a backless dress, and it's all right, but then if I do that same thing, it's like why are you? Look at you.
I feel like all of that it still boils down to what people are known for, like the Rihanna and this girls thing. Like everybody already knows Rihanna. She's like a risk taker when it comes to fashion, right? So it's almost like I don't say she'll be excused for doing that as much as people will talk, because she knows, everybody knows Rihanna. She gets people talking by pulling up those fashion outfits.
Before you're saying, would you say that modesty is linked to your fashion sense? Like,
no, I'm saying it can also be linked to the.
So
no offense, I'm not trying to bring anybody into this show, but for instance, let's talk about somebody I love as well, Charlie Boy. Nobody goes around dressing like Charlie Boy. You can't even do it. Can you pull it off?
I mean, they really
do. I'm not a boy. I cannot.
Yeah. Go ahead. if you can't do it, I cannot. You can't really. So you have to. That's where those kind of people come in. Those in law, they'll say the general rule and the exceptions, right? Those kind of people, you see them as the exceptions, because it's almost like they have personally
breaking the norms,
trained themselves to be that kind of person. They are trying to do that it could be for like whatever reason. It could be what they're comfortable with. It could be what their life goal is, to just be known for that kind of thing. But it is not the general rule. You can't go around looking like that. You can't go, even yourself, you won't be comfortable. And starting it is not something that you say, okay, you want to just do it today and see what people say. If you want to do it, you have to be. Darren has been consistent with this thing for like almost 30 years. I've been having years in this industry.
That Rihanna and Lizzo one, like I said, I think that Rihanna and Lizzo one is not even about what you're known for, what you're not known for.
No, that one was
that Rihanna and Lizzo
really
one
bad.
It was bad, but trust me, it's because of the person that Rihanna is and the person that this other person you guys.
No, that was body shaming, because Rihanna literally it was a body shaming thing. It was like Rihanna literally wore what the comparison. Rihanna has worn less, and they've never said, "Oh, Rihanna, there's children around. Oh, it's nudity. Oh, it's prerogative." They never said nothing like that about Rihanna.
Then that's
but when Lizzo did it, and it's like, oh, because she's a bigger girl and it's a bigger thigh, and it's a bigger arm. She's not modest. She's indecent, and Rihanna's fine. Rihanna's an icon. So that's the thing.
If a slimmer person wears a bikini, it's alright. If a fat person wears it,
like she's being indecent. There's children around, and Rihanna's was like, oh, she's a fashion icon, she's an idol. But they're both wearing statement pieces. It's both iconic moments,
that's
right?
Exactly what I'm saying. they are two different people.
Based on
Society, based on what they have built for themselves.
no,
And
we're
no,
saying
it's the
based
truth.
on how they physically look is how their modesty is being
all I'm saying
Their
is
modesty is being measured.
no,
like
it's
she
not-
made
it-
that perfect
I'm not
example.
saying-
If
I'm
we
not-
both wore the same
Yeah,
thing,
if we were, it'd be
and
Okay,
I
okay, let's
promise
say-
you,
let's
if
say-
both wore a
let's say-
short skirt
okay,
and
hold
a
on.
boob tube,
To-
they will
they would
say
bash
that
you.
I'm not
she's
sure.
more
Maybe it's because
indecent
I
than
don't
I
know the
am.
person you're talking about. Like, is it like,
Lizzo.
does she have like the same body?
No,
No.
Lizzo's a thick girl. She
Or
a big
she's
mama.
super thick, like
Yeah.
super thicker than
like
Rihanna,
American
right?
type.
Yeah.
Now,
of
okay,
thick.
now let's put a Rihanna and put someone who
Use
looks
us as
exactly.
comparison.
Yeah, use
right
us
now.
as
Use
comparison.
us.
No,
No,
you
no,
guys
no,
are different.
Rihanna.
No,
Let's
I'm
use
trying
Rihanna
to
and
use
Shia,
this.
like,
No, I'm trying to use this to create a point, like
Yeah.
to show you that it can actually be the person that you are. That's why you are excused for being this kind of.
No, we're not saying that Rihanna
No,
should
no,
or
we're
should
not
not
saying
be
Rihanna should
excused
not be
because
excused.
Rihanna's fashion, yes, everybody knows
That's
Rihanna
what
is
I'm
edgy,
saying.
Rihanna is
No,
stylish,
but what we're saying
Rihanna's
is-
still like other celebrities kind of like dress in almost similar pieces, just that
Yeah.
Rihanna raised them differently.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
get they wear certain things that they do? What we're saying is when a slim person does this, it's a different standard of modesty that is applied to when a big person does. Let's say Shia and I.
We should do an experiment. Actually,
Yeah.
let's put it
Oh,
this way: we should do an
okay.
experiment. We both wear the same thing.
same thing,
We
yes.
go out and we ask how many people think she's
She's
dressed in modest
indecent
and how many
and,
people
yeah,
think I'm
appreciate-
dressed in,
yeah.
and in the
Okay,
same
now,
outfit.
let's-
It's just I feel like modesty is by
Same
size,
outfit.
same
By
outfit, same
gender.
everything.
Okay.
We should do because modesty. Personally, I feel like modesty is by weight,
Yep.
gender,
Yep.
and obviously
Weight,
environment.
gender,
Yeah,
environment.
environment.
Yes, size,
Environment.
gender,
Size is very
environment.
important. as well.
Size,
Yeah.
sex, everything. I feel like if in fact if we all did the same, if you wore a crop top, like a sports crop top and short shorts, and we
Nah, I
all
ain't
wore the
gonna
same
do
thing,
that.
they would say he's like, nah, I ain't
I ain't
saying
gonna do
that.
that.
But I'm just saying, like, if we were to do something like that,
Yeah.
there would be completely different
standards
outcomes
of
the three
modesty
us, and it'd be
applies.
the same damn outfit.
But now,
But-
speaking of like, there's something I want to ask.
Yeah.
Let's talk about like like things that should not define modesty, but they do, because I'm trying to like break out the hypocrisy in our standards of modesty.
Mhm. I think we should talk about
Do
behavior.
you think
Yeah.
body size should actually, like,
Factor in.
factor in?
I don't think so because I don't.
It's not my place to say.
Two things I
So
think
what
that
I
are
don't
rubbish.
like is
dress
when-
for your body size and dress the way you want to be addressed. There are two things I don't
Okay,
believe
dress
in,
for your
'cause
body
I don't
size,
believe in
okay.
that thing. If it wasn't supposed to fit me, it wouldn't come in my size. So you can't tell
True
me to
that.
dress from that. That's it.
Period.
If it's not supposed to fit me, then it's not going to come in my size. So don't tell me to wear what clearly fits me and what I want to wear.
Mhm.
And then I don't believe you should dress the way you want to be addressed, because I don't believe in judging a book by its cover. A lot of
True.
people, like I went and I met somebody, we were talking, having a conversation. This person already had this kind of, when somebody's a bit condescending towards you because, or maybe they see you as, you look like a city girl, you're wearing this type of. That's like having a conversation. I told this person, I'm a lawyer, and then the law.
Oh,
like
you have sense. Oh, you can read.
It completely switched, and I'm like, okay, so because I dress this type of way, you.
But
think-
yeah, you said that. He said something
I
like that
don't
as well.
believe- yeah,
Like
I don't believe
you
in
feel like
dressing the way
people
you want
treat
to
you
be
different, being
addressed.
a social, like a big brother, who Big Brother has put you on this platform to be a social influencer, an actor, a model, so many things. You feel like people have this type of behavior towards you than if you're just a regular guy trying to make it in the world.
Because that's life.
That's
if I'm being
inevitable.
honest.
That's how
that's
how
life.
life
Even
works.
what you're saying right now, it's just life. If you see a mechanic dressed as a carpenter, you would not address that mechanic as a carpenter. It's just
He's
I
going
feel
back
like-
to a fake life and packaging.
don't
No,
know.
no, but
I
I
don't
feel like
agree with
it's
that.
really just life because now the standard that they will expect, like I just told you that my dad literally told me to cut my hair because he's
That's
a
what I
lawyer.
wanted to ask you. Sorry, speaking about. That's what I was
Right?
talking about, like things that should not factor in. Like now you have your hair.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't go to law. Can I go
have
to law school?
Anklets. I wear anklets. Things that I think are very, very, no offense, dumb. That count as like
Little,
kind of. I love it. Good. You've dyed your hair. You have
Hair.
hair here. I have anklets on. You wear waist
What's
beads.
wrong with me
you
dyeing
have
my
no.
hair?
I'm saying no. What I'm trying to pull out is you have multiple piercings. I have multiple piercings.
Uh-huh.
You've dyed your hair. I have anklets on. You've made your hair. We're all wearing certain things that people would say are
Yeah,
immodest
yeah.
and are wrong. But does that define who you are as a person?
No, it
But
doesn't.
then
think
this links back to this links back to me for social media, what people assume and think of you. I feel like on social media, if you look at my social media, right, I feel like people tell me all the time, when I look at your social media and when I meet you, it's almost like you're not the same person. Not in the sense that I'm being fake, but I feel like social media, you put your best foot
Oh, you're
forward.
fine on social media.
Nah, I'm fine in real life.
Period.
Are you sure you're fine? That's the
No,
anyone is
excuse
fine.
me,
Anyone,
she's
I mean,
serious.
anyone is good. Like, just
Find her
shall
in
be
person,
fine.
you'll
I
see
mean,
what
she's
it
fine
means.
like this. So social
No,
media.
she's fine. She's fine. Beautiful,
Oh,
stunning.
I love that.
No, please,
Wait,
that father.
no, but I feel
That
like
father.
so my social media, I feel like people might maybe think I come across a bit stuck up or whatever they do, but then when you meet me in real life, or like what we're saying, me, I don't have bum. I tell people, I don't get y'all, I get personality and I'm funny.
screaming.
We can have a good time. We can have a great time. Forget the body.
I can make you laugh.
Forget the body.
See, I can make you laugh.
I know current
cry.
affairs.
Blast.
I know current
You know what I
affairs.
mean? I could do that. Where some
Yeah.
people, it's simply body, like it's simply aesthetics, right? And I feel like people judge you based on, like, people try to put modesty for women. Again, remember saying that I feel like they project on women. I feel like they try to put women in this box. Look a certain way so you can be a modest woman. But if you look a certain way, you're not modest. How is the way my exterior defining who I am in total as a person?
So I feel like
So-
modesty.
okay.
Sorry, one last thing. I feel like modesty, right, is still a social tool, because there's this saying.
To
I'm
suppress
sure.
women, yes,
Chill.
yes,
It's not to
yes.
support women.
Yes, to
So
suppress
you know,
women,
there's
yes.
this saying that where your
Feminist.
right
Period.
where your rights ends, that's
Uh-huh.
where another person's rights starts from,
Yeah.
right? So I feel like if they just remove that law of modesty,
Mm-hmm.
as much as people are already doing as much as they like,
And I love you for them.
yeah, but I feel like that's still something that helps control what the public, like what the vicinity of the public can or should look like. Because trust me, people they will want just wear
But you know the
anything
ironic
within
thing about
like.
modesty, and do you know one thing I
People-
find
they're-
really funny about us as Africans is
What?
the fact that what we consider modesty now was not this. That's not what we originated from. It was imported standards of modesty that we have now. Our forefathers and ancestors
I
used to
have
walk
something to
around
say.
naked.
All right.
And they literally used to walk around naked. The waist beads and anklets that people are judging and saying that they are immodest.
It was
That's
part
what
of our
it
Why do
was
you
part
think you
of
used to
our
walk around
culture.
naked?
Eh?
Why do you think your forefathers used to walk around naked?
Current affairs now.
No current affairs. Why? I'm just asking. Just give me facts. Why do you think your forefathers used to walk around
Because
naked?
that is why did you think the white people used to
So
walk
where do you
around
think
wearing
rapper
rapper?
talking about
Where do you think
Madonna?
rapper and all
Just-
these things came from? Where do you think all those?
Materials,
Materials
women
and
had
all
access
that.
when I say
to.
walk
Listen,
around
come.
naked, I don't mean obviously not naked, but like
Nah,
some tribes
we don't
used
walk
to
around naked.
Some tribes used to walk
Yes,
around naked.
intentionally.
Some other
like
tribes
it's
used to
their
wear
tribe.
wrappers and stuff. I
They
know
know
women,
that there are things that are different in the world, but this is how they are.
The
Wait,
point
guys,
is the standards of modesty that we have now are not indigenous to us. That's what
Yeah,
I'm
they're
saying.
imported.
They
I
are
feel
not
like we've
indigenous
adapted-
to us.
We've
Look at
adapted- but
depictions of
that's
Shango.
Nigeria
Shango
in
has
general.
his
We
hair
adapted
made.
things from other
There's certain
developing
depictions
countries
of him,
and
but if
adapted
you as a
it
man
here.
should make your hair, you're automatically irresponsible.
Yeah.
I as a woman,
But I
I'm
just
wearing
feel like-
anklets,
but
I'm
then, you know
irresponsible.
what? I feel
But
like
my
10 years ago-
forefathers
Cool.
used to wear anklets and
It's-
waist beads.
I mean,
and-
okay, you can
yeah.
blame all of that on the culture mix, Sha.
Mhm.
Definitely. You
Two things I
definitely
want to
culture
say,
mix.
right? So, being modest, right? Okay, one has left my head. Let's move on. Behavior. It just behavior-wise, I feel like behavior. People can be. You can be a modest person, like humble.
Mhm.
Like, how do you feel that is in this society? I feel like if you are, again, I feel like humility or being humble is also very much judged on how you interact with people. Like for me, sometimes when I go certain places and I speak, automatically people think I'm stuck up. They think I'm somehow, and I'm always like, why? And someone's like, it's because of your accent. They hear you different. So for them, they feel like you're speaking down to them. I'm like, so I know we're talking about this. Like if I go to the market and I said, excuse me, sir, please, can I have Titus fish or can I have cow leg? It's almost like, oh, who is this girl? This, don't even know anything. Wait, you know what cow leg is? Let me. But if I came there, I got bring me that cow leg. How much? I took it. Bring the price down. In fact, if I came there in my
not how you
British accent, they feel
So bring
oh,
the
it's
price down.
5K.
You're so cute.
Yes, now they
Not
want
that
me.
it's okay. I thought
Do you
they're
know how much the
300.
cost of living is? Bring that price down. But like, if I came there and I spoke in my normal accent, like, oh hi, good afternoon, sir. Please, can I have some cow leg? How much is it? It's 5K per kilo. I forget. Oh, guys, bring me that cow leg. How much this thing they cost? Like,
Then
if I speak the way I speak, sometimes people feel like I'm being
stock up.
I'm being proud. I'm being stuck
Yeah.
up. Like, oh, how dare you come in here with your well-spoken English and your British accent and
See,
blah
I think,
blah
like
blah
I
blah
said,
blah.
a
Like,
lot
why
of-
does that even factor into being humble? Like the way
See,
you.
I remember, I think I was in year 2 or year 3. I don't know. That we had this. So we have hall weeks in University of Lagos. They had hall weeks. So Moremi was having a whole week, and then they brought this woman to come and talk to the girls in the hostel. And like, I can remember what that woman was wearing. That day was very vivid in my mind. And this woman was having this conversation, and she was telling us that, oh, as women, I'm not saying you should not aspire to do too much. I'm not saying you should not blah 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 blah. But as a woman, don't be in a hurry to leave your parents' house. Don't buy car. Don't buy big flashy cars.
So I should never
Don't
buy a car.
big
Just wait for a
flashy-
nigga.
Don't buy big flashy houses that is gonna intimidate men. So they're quoting Proverbs 31. Be a virtuous woman. And
It's a
like
religion.
being a modest
Religion.
woman
Religious.
is being a
Religion,
woman that
I
they
said
see
it.
you as subservient subservient to a man. Being a modest woman is not doing the most. Like, okay, it's all right for you to drive a GLE. It's all right for you to have a Range Rover. It's fine. But if as a woman,
driving it, she's got a sugar daddy or someone's paying for that shit. She didn't pay for that.
No, but it's true. Even in terms of
that
lifestyle,
is a
fashion,
stereotype,
behavior,
actually, and it's a stereotype. If you see a girl that's up, I'm not shouting.
It is. I mean,
I said something. See, if
it's
a
a
woman
normal
is passing well
stereotype
in
for me.
school, she's
Like,
sleeping with her
they
lecturer.
still police
That's
stop
what
me
they'll
every
say.
day and think I do fraud. I'm like, they literally ask me, how do you get the money to buy the car you drive? I'm like,
I have a job.
this car is,
I work.
It's 15.
And do you know why
13 for God's sake.
modesty and having like general standards of modesty doesn't even like it's not even so advisable for having cliche standards of modesty? It's because it leads to profiling that would not end up being right. Like now, if you're as a person you have
It
locks
leads
on
to
your hair,
profiling, that's
it leads
true.
to profiling that is very detrimental to people
That's not- it's
and can lead to people
environment.
being killed.
That's
So wait, guys, that's
environment.
Having low
in
cuts
general,
is a
that's
modest man, but
actually
if as a man I have locks on my hair, you're
I
stopping me
don't
and saying
want to
you're
say
Yahoo boy.
like, but to be very honest, like I'll be frank with you. There are brands that won't work with me because I have hair.
Do you get how daft that
It's
is?
normal.
But then what does your
It's-
hair
it's
do?
like-
Your hair taken away from you and
would
that's
they
what I'm
die
saying.
because
Like,
there's hair
if God
growing out of
didn't
your
want
head?
you to have hair, you wouldn't grow it.
It's
Simple.
trust me. Like I said, it is not where your right ends. That's where another person's right starts from.
Your right should not
So-
enter my life. That's what I know.
Exactly
It
what I
should not
just
enter my
said.
own
Like
life. So
where
let it
your
be
right
on your
ends is where another person's right will start from. So the fact that people naturally will say, look, this thing is supposed to be a woman's thing. You carrying your hair now will make my child think he's
But that
supposed to
brand
carry
will
his
work
hair.
with a white person or he'll work with Alex Iwobi
Because
that's
they are in a
keeping hair.
different environment, my
That's
dear.
just the hypocrisy of it.
That's
all
not
for me.
hypocrisy.
What
Like,
should be
if
if
you were,
you're gonna have a standard,
see,
let it
if
cut
you were-
across the board.
trust me, if
Neil,
we're,
wait,
if we're, in a, yeah,
quick one. Do
Yeah.
you feel like you've been over sexualized? Because this is something I feel like for women, people try to make women dress modest. You know, you're
I
talking
was
about
just-
that
I
Proverbs
was-
31, right?
I was
They would
just,
say, don't dress this way because you don't want men to sexualize you or you don't want men to look at you.
if
funny.
people want
As
to
a
sexualize
guy-
you, they will sexualize it. I was just complaining. I was not complaining, but I was just saying that.
Oh, you like it?
Not like I like it, but if
Yeah.
people want to have thoughts of me in their head while I do, well, that's all on them. Like I'm not going to like wire your brain, but I'm just saying, like, there are days I just post my hands, just my fingers, and people are just talking about how they want to use these hands to do what I don't know. So it's
You
normal.
don't know?
So it's
Well, yeah,
very.
go on. I'm listening.
I don't know what they're. So I need you to be crystal clear. I don't understand what you're saying. Crystal clear. But I
Please,
don't-
we don't
I
know. We don't know. Please
That's-
explain.
no.
Explain.
Okay, all right.
I don't know. What did it say about your hands?
Okay.
Neo?
That's the thing.
Show
I don't know.
them, show them
Maybe
the hands.
I don't know. I don't know.
How
Maybe
about close
it's.
up into the hands?
What
What do they want to do?
I
They
don't-
want you to feed them fufu.
No, I want to know.
Yeah,
No,
they
I want to wear your hands as my necklace.
Oh!
Let's go. Let's go.
Oh my god!
Hey.
But that's what I'm saying. So it doesn't really stop. It doesn't. It's not really what you wear. Who wants sexualized people sexualize? In fact, the reason why people will say cover up is so that they don't go out saying what they're thinking most of the time.
I'm
No,
say
but
what
I
you
feel like
want.
if you
That's your
got a fat
business.
ass
That's
and
your
you're wearing
daddy's
a
business.
dress, and
Say
you're wearing
what
a
you
dress that's a
want.
dress. If you
I
got a
don't
fat
care.
ass, right,
It's
and you're
gonna be-
wearing
yeah,
even a
definitely
knitted
gonna look
dress,
like a
that
fat
your
ass.
fish
See,
show.
do you know
So
that?
what should I not
For sure.
do?
Do you know?
For
I'm
sure.
sorry. I got hit on like a lot of times. There's this really big, these dashikis, those
Yeah.
really big long
Yeah.
ones. I've gotten hit on more times than dashikis.
No,
Walking
because-
on the road.
Yeah,
because
just the
that's the thing,
shit.
because-
God,
I see what
Let me
you're
tell you
doing
something.
to
That's what-
others.
yes,
You're
let
still
me tell
going
you
to
something. You know
yam me. So
when-
let me just do what I
when
want to do.
they say when you hide, how there's this proverb that used to say
Where
that thing,
hide
when you
goes,
hide
that
something
hide
inside
something.
something, you automatically make someone want to look for it.
Don't worry,
more.
I'll put it out there so you don't have to look.
I don't mean
How about
but
that?
guess what? That's what happens. If you
Let
put
me
it out there,
so
ain't
you don't
nobody
have
gonna
to
look.
And that's
Ain't
not what
nobody
you
gonna
look.
look.
I'm not doing it for you. I'm
If
doing
you
it
But
for
do you
me.
feel-
out there,
Do you feel like
100%,
modesty?
I swear to God, people will just no, they don't want to look. They don't want to look.
Please
but
don't
guess
look.
what? When you cover them small, can't show leg. Don't worry.
Eh,
They are dreaming. They want to see.
I cover
what-
my knees.
Oh,
worry,
the
I'll-
worst is
I'll
when
open
you,
it so
the
you
worst
can-
is now
don't
when
look
you
at me,
pass
please.
where you know when you're passing where there's a light, right?
Yeah.
And then you know that dashiki is always kind of transparent, right?
What?
Is it-
What?
I'm being
You
honest
don't,
because
do you wear dashikis?
not
Neil?
so
How do you
no,
know
no,
these
because
things?
I know that material.
Yeah.
That material. I know that material I'm talking about. I'm like, yes.
Send me
I'm
your
like, that
dashiki
material.
Oh my
pictures.
God.
Nah, they-
Hey, damn
Bruh.
it.
But you get what I'm saying? So that's just how it is because you put the idea in someone's head and the person might just be like, you put his brain to work more. But when you,
He's
it's
putting the
typical.
brain, not
Yeah,
you.
not be
It's your
you. That's what I'm
choice.
saying.
Yeah.
But when you just do it like this, trust me, see finish, you just no, I don't want to look at this. What's this?
And that's what I
So
like.
then
look at the
wait,
naked
but
woman.
Neo,
Look at
Neo,
it.
you just
You know?
have for example. So modesty really has nothing to do with how people look at, because you just said now you can be wearing daishiki,
Yes, of course.
and people will still be sexualizing you.
Of course, that's normal. That's in fact that's
So
it's,
So how do
it's
you
too
win this
normal.
battle
That's
of
the
being
thing,
modest?
especially as a woman, you can't win.
No, you
Just
can't.
do
You
you.
really. It's just.
Let
It's
me be
funny.
honest. That's one thing I've come to realize is as a woman,
It's actually funny.
they won't. The society is structured for me to not win. Even if I wear
Say
that
it's
chic is
structured
full on, I get
for
hit
nobody.
on. I'm getting catcalled. I'm getting harassed no matter what I wear. So why not just do what works for me, which is wear what I
Be
want to wear.
yourself. Yeah.
That's it. It's like I'm just gonna do what works
Yeah,
for me
I'm,
and wear what
like when it
I
comes to all
want to
this dress
wear.
and stuff, I have my moments. Like I fluctuate between how I want
So
to
now
dress. But
I
my
feel like I have one question. I'm not sure this question is even anywhere. So we are all growing up to be like parents, right? We are obviously like the new
don't make that
generation.
assumption.
You don't want to be a parent.
I want to be a wife first.
You want to be no, definitely. But I want
Don't
to
say
have.
definitely.
I
Baby
want. I
mamas did
want
this
to.
generation choke.
No, I want to.
wanna
I
have
like.
children?
Yes, I want to have kids. I want to have
What
kids that
about
will
dog?
look at me. I hate dogs. I'm
Oh.
sorry.
I have 4 dogs.
I hate
Crazy.
dogs. I hate animals. I will say it anyway.
I
I'm
have 4
sorry.
dogs and 2 cats.
I don't. That's your own. I'll never come to your house. Never. Never. Don't invite me.
What did they do to you? Did they
I
chase
If
you
you like
when
have
you
all,
were
have all
young?
the food in the world,
Did they chase you when you were
Baba, I
young?
will never.
Hey.
Anyway,
It'll shock you. The girl ends up with should have like a dog.
I swear
You
to
even
God.
buy the
As
dog
you
for
will
her.
be the one calling
No,
dog,
it
hey
cannot be
Fluffy, hey
me.
Fifi, let's go.
it can never be me. Don't
Guys,
worry,
I
never.
need this. I can't wait.
But I'm saying
gonna
like
wait for
if
this
we
day.
have, we're all
Manifesting it.
growing up now to be like parents, like
Yeah.
eventually, and we've all been, so guided by the norms of religion, environment, society, or whatever, jobs that would obviously want to, insert in your head what modesty is supposed to be like. So I'm asking now because we are clearly in an age where you have kids 7 years old already applying makeup. I mean, they are good at it. I'm not saying it's for anything because I know go on YouTube, you see influencers like that young and they're making good money. Like you can't tell me like now that is not something that the kid he or herself is not passionate about. You get me? So I'm saying like, what is going to be your own? I don't say your own
Stance.
control mechanism, your own control mechanism on how you're going to guide your kids on modesty. About is it going to be like, are you going to let them do them and encourage them, or you're going to let them do them and do the African way to spank their head and be like, are you mad?
No, personally, I'm
Or
not even going to do like
so
corporal
what is it
punishment
going
on
to
my-
be,
on my-
or are
if
you
I
going
have
to
children.
actually judge them based on how you grew up, how your parents taught you how to be modest, how you should dress, how you like? What is it going to be like? I really want to know because
I think for me, I can't even use my home as any kind of, because growing up, my parents are like very unconventional. And
okay,
I showed you a video of my mom now that she
Yeah.
did right before we walked in and all that. I learned how to like start wearing anklets. You see my mom's leg, her anklets are like from here to here. I
okay,
said, like, my mom bought me my first set of like waist beads and stuff like that. I leave my house, like this is how I'm going back home, and
Yeah.
my dad's gonna be at home. I said I'm going to walk into the house
Yeah.
because my parents have like raised me to realize that what's inside counts more, honestly, than what's on the
Fantastic.
outside. But the fact that
Fantastic.
you have your own personal set of morals
Substance.
and okay, the difference between what is good and what is wrong, I know how to apply that,
That's
then
all.
that's fine. I'm going to raise children that know that at the end of the day, what matters is what you think is right and what is wrong. And obviously, there are general applicable standards of right and wrong.
True.
And there are some that used to make people very subservient. Don't follow that, because even I can pull up here today in I don't know if it's all right to talk about it, but look at terrorist organizations now. What do they wear? What do their people wear? The people, suicide bombers, what do they wear? You can see one of like most evil set of people in the world all fully covered up. Are you telling me that, okay, because they're covered up, they're good people? Do you get? So I think for me, it's just, having your personal set of rights and wrong, like your morals, obviously guided within reason.
Yeah.
Raising children, I'm not going to do that whole raise children like to dress like children, to be children,
Yeah.
to dress like teenagers, be
Yeah.
teenagers, and
I
when
want
you
my
become
child to
adults,
live like
Yeah.
to live like an
Like-
adult. What
Yeah.
you think a responsible adult
Adults
is?
do.
Yeah.
What about you? How you think you're gonna like?
raise my kids.
Yeah.
So I mean, myself and their father. I think God. I feel like I can't say that I would raise my kids the way I was raised, and I can't say I'll raise my kids the way this generation's being raised,
Raised,
because I want to raise my kids what's best for them,
Yeah.
essentially. So I mean, for me and my upbringing, my background, me and my sister are very creative. And at one point, my mum eventually gave up and just let us be creative and free.
Yeah.
So I feel like if my child is creative, I want to be able to enable all their creativity, all their
Yeah.
sparks, and just push them forward in everything.
Nurture them.
And if my child is, an intellect, I want to be able to, influence them in that, buy them books, do this, do all. So I can't say I'll raise them how my mother raised me or how this society is being raised. I want to raise them how I feel like is best, and doesn't mean that I'm doing the right thing or I'm doing the best thing, is what I think at that moment, And I feel like sometimes we need to be a bit forgiving when it comes to how people project their opinions on us because it's from their mental.
Exactly.
Like for me, modesty, you know, like you just said now, the little kids on YouTube,
Yeah.
7-year-olds, 12-year-olds wearing makeup.
Yeah.
do a
And
full
it's like
face beat.
they're making good money.
Yeah.
Sometimes we mistake certain things that we're against because of funds, because of money.
True.
If I feel
Very
like
correct.
if my 7-year-old is really good at makeup and amazing at makeup, that makeup, I'll let you do that skill in the house, do your YouTube, do whatever. But my 7-year-old is still gonna live
As a
like a
7-year-old.
Like I
7-year-old.
said, that's what I said.
It's not that
Raise
my
your children to be
7-year-old
children and
Fantastic.
will be
children,
going
teenagers and
to
teenagers and adults.
Fantastic.
yeah, like
That's
it's not
it,
like my
yeah.
7-year-old
You're
will
gonna
be
be a
going
child when
out
you're
with
a
her
child.
friends with a full face
Yeah,
of makeup. No, you
definitely.
can do. I can enable your creativity. I
Yeah.
can sponsor your creativity. I will pay for everything and make sure that you're,
But
you know,
you
I'm
would be a
enabling your
7-year-old.
skills because I feel like, and this is why I love Gen Z. They've made things that our parents belittled into actual jobs.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, I want to do makeup. Why?
Why?
Now, like makeup artists make this.
I'm making
Yeah.
Oh,
proper
mommy, I
bag.
want to
Good
be an
money.
actor. Why do you go and be a doctor? Now,
Yeah.
you want to
They
be an
make good
actor?
money
Let's
now.
go. You want to go to film school? Let's find film school. I'll come to you. I'll come and see you in
want
New
to
York.
play
Yeah,
I'll
but
come-
that's-
They're
But
But that's the
enablers.
same thing as,
Yeah.
you know, you want
So-
to be like a 7-year-old makeup artist. Yeah, let's
so
do
I'll
it.
enable your skill, but I also want to make sure that you still enjoy being a child.
Enjoy
So
your
that's
youth,
yeah,
basically. I think
enjoy your
that's what I
youth.
say.
And
If you're gonna be
I
a
feel
child,
like
be a
a
child
lot
when
of
you're a
us were
child.
Yeah,
robbed
that's
of
dope,
certain
though.
things when we were younger because they just, I don't know. I don't want to say they didn't. In fact, God forgive me. I feel like they didn't know better.
They didn't know better.
So now that we know better,
That's it.
if my child is really good at, you know, makeup, I'll buy the products, enable you to do your YouTube, whatever, but I also enable them to be a child.
Yeah.
I really feel like that's where that line is. Like we missed.
They missed
Yeah,
that
they
line where
missed
your
that.
child
Like,
is
I
really
won't-
good
if
at
you don't
playing
wanna
football,
do
but you
law-
lock him in and say, oh, don't
Yeah,
play football, don't do this, don't do this,
why
don't do
I
this.
And
say,
now
if
look how
not,
much footballers
I
make.
know- I know for
Footballers make
waste
more than
all my
lawyers
years
at
in school, they do
sometimes.
rubbish.
Honestly.
I'm telling you.
So yeah, I'm
But
more
for
on
me, I
the-
just feel like, personally, I feel like it's just discipline. Teach a child discipline.
That's
like,
it.
for me, I feel like one thing, no offense, I feel like one thing that we lack in this our generation and the generation to come, one thing we're going to lack a lot is discipline. People would not, like, I
Morals.
just,
Moralist generation.
morals
I
even too
do
deep.
agree with that.
Morals even
Sha.
too deep because morals can be, it can be personally
That's
tailored.
the morals
Do you
can
understand?
differ,
Can
yeah.
be personally tailored, but discipline.
Mhm.
Discipline in the sense that you don't need someone to tell you. You just know when to tell yourself, okay, that's not it.
This is
That's
right, this
it.
is wrong, yeah.
That's not it. That's not it. That's all. That's all. For me, that's just, it's very simple. Like,
Okay.
just discipline.
I want to ask
Chicken
you
and
guys:
keep it
have
there.
you ever felt like you've been picked on or sexualized or kind of felt indecent because of how you were dressed? And
Dressed? How I look feels very, like me, like this.
so, do you keep how you look to prove a point, or do you just like,
I keep how I look because it's how I look. Like,
That's it. That's
trust
how I
me,
want
like,
to
no
look.
offense, I get, okay, let me just say that. Like, I
That's it,
get,
that's it. Let's have
it's a
it.
safe space?
I
Let's
get
have
tons
it.
of-
Come on, baby, let's have it.
I could get
have
tons of,
it.
I could get tons of, you know, whatever from both sides.
Yeah,
Guys,
that's valid.
girls.
That's
you
how
know.
Okay, that's fine. I can
you
help
know
that
your
girl.
husband,
Period.
everybody
So
has
I'm
a
like,
piece of that.
would I change that? Would I change who I am? Should I change my body size, or should I take off my? So that's the thing. I'm just honest with myself. I just know what I
Be-
love, and I
I
love
try
that
not
about
to
me. So
project
I'm not.
like indecency or modesty. And like I said, I think for me, because I suffered a lot I grew breasts really quickly. Like the training bar shit, I didn't even have the chance to even try them. I felt like I woke up one day and bam,
Boom.
breasts. I was like,
Yeah,
whoa,
that's
what is
outside.
this? Like
Yeah.
I had breasts
Oh,
early.
my
So like I
days.
just kind of, because of I couldn't wear certain things, or you know, kids' clothes didn't come. Like I never had a kiddie bra. Like I was straight up, when I started wearing bras, I was in the adult sections wearing bras. So like I feel like even when they would try and dress you up to go to like parties, I couldn't wear a lot of kids' clothes because like my chest was just too big. And if you get something too big, you're not looking like as if you're wearing like something that's
something
too
for, like,
big
older
for you.
people,
Do you know what I mean? So for me, I kind of just went to being a tomboy. Like it's easier to just wear baggy clothes and you don't
And
really have to
cover
worry
up,
about it. But now
yeah.
that I'm in my feminine stage, I want to show my cleavage off and I want to do this. I'm like, I try not to project if I feel like, and the thing is, I don't even feel it. I always see it more like a fashion statement. If somebody wants to dress naked and they want to have their breasts and everything, I'm like, oh, this is nice. Oh, I didn't look at her bum. Wow. I'm more, and that's why I feel, and I've even for guys as well, like, if I see a guy and he's maybe wearing a skirt or something that maybe is feminine or crosses that, I don't look at it and go, oh, he's dressed in them. I'm like, oh, this is a fashion statement. I don't even think of indecency when I see that because I know what it's like to feel uncomfortable in something that you cannot change. So another thing I feel like modesty, people judge you on, people project modesty on things that are unchangeable. right?
Okay.
When you're younger, especially. If I have big breasts, right? You'll be telling me don't show my cleavage. That means everything I wear has to wear this.
Has to
I
be
don't even like
from
things
here.
on my neck.
And then you begin to wonder what's wrong
There.
with you that your breasts have to be covered up.
Turtleneck.
Do you know what I mean? So you start to
turtleneck.
feel uncomfortable. They're like, oh, men will now be looking at you. But when men are now supposed to be looking at me, I feel uncomfortable because you drummed it in my ear that men should look. And then now you're asking me, why are you not married? But when they were looking, I was scared because you told me.
I'm scared. No,
I'm blaming. But like those things actually do
Oh my
seep
God.
into your. And I feel like, so for me, when it comes to indecency or modesty, or I don't even, that thing, I fashy. I don't even, I'm like, oh, I don't really like it. It's not my taste. It's not like my start. So like,
Anyway,
I think ultimately, like how modesty should work. Like I've always said, like yes, there are general standards of okay, what is like reasonable. Like obviously, like there's public indecency now. As per pulling out, like you walk out naked, they say public indecency. What is right and wrong and morally unconscious and stuff like that. There's that. But
exactly.
I think that we should relax how we make what is modesty to us applicable for everybody. What is your standard might not be what is my standard and what is not. So far, I know what, okay, it's different between right and wrong. I'll be no wahala. I'm doing what is right and what is right for me. That's fine. I don't think that you should force your own standards of modesty. Oh, this person didn't cover her hair, she's immodest. This person is wearing a short sleeve top, she's immodest. Or he's wearing a skirt, he's immodest. I just think, we should relax that standard.
sorry, I know we're about to
Last
round up.
thing,
but
yeah, even me, I
quick
know
one,
about to round up
tattoos.
because
Do you like? I feel like people judge you. They think
I
you're
said it
indecent
still
when you're
boils down to
tattooed.
See,
what I said about
everything is
wearing
the
hair,
same. It's
carrying
just been
anklets down your
profiled.
hair,
It's just been
multiple
profiled. But
piercings.
at the same time, I still feel like all these rules, right? These are rules that human beings, us, because they were not ghosts, right?
We
These are
created
human
them.
beings that sat down and said, okay, look, we need to write this up. People have to be able to live and get to this point and not cross it. People have to be able to
So we
exercise
create
this.
rules to segregate
So
and
at the end-
separate each other.
exactly. So it's just
Divide
what it
and
is.
conquer.
It's time for those rules to evolve.
It's really just what it is.
Yeah. I
Because,
think that's what
like
it
I
is.
said, if they say everybody dress as you like, I know
But I
people will
feel
go.
I'm-
I know people will go on naked into our streets for the sake of it. And by the time you naked into our streets, you feel no like what you get when you naked into our streets. That's why I say where your right ends, that's where I'm because as much as I want to come outside, I don't want to come outside and see rubbish. No offense.
Close your eyes.
Wow.
Which one is, so if I see naked woman pass, it's not. It's
Yeah, close
like
your
it's
eyes. If you find
because
it
if I
offensive,
walk
close your
naked,
eyes.
trust me, no matter how good looking I am, it will be very undecent for a lot of people. That's just how it goes. That's just it. So I feel like naturally, those rules they should still be there.
But wait, why do you
But
think it'll be
it's just the
decent?
fact
Because
that-
you're
What?
wait. If you walked out naked, you said you feel like we indecent for a lot of people. Why?
Why won't I be? I'll just be walking around with my dick.
Everything still boils down
Oh,
to
wait,
social
swinging and stuff?
conditioning. Like I said, social
come
conditioning.
Jungle
on.
over.
You understand? So
Tomato.
because you can't
But yeah.
control everybody. Do you understand? So it's just okay to put something in the middle.
So who
Just in the
decides
middle.
modesty? Like who?
It has been defined by
round
so
up
many
with
things.
that.
Like I
What-
said,
who
first of
and
all,
what
it has been defined by the home that you grew up
society,
in, the religion, the society, the school, the
your
job.
weight, your height, your
your-
color.
So
your,
even you yourself, you get to
your
a point where you
class.
have to personally decide what is modest for
I
you.
think following
Yeah.
all like current
That's just how it
applicable
goes.
standards of modesty, you can set your own standard. For
You will
modesty.
have
You have
will
to
have
set
to
your
set
own
your own
standards
standards for
for
yourself
modesty, and don't
eventually.
lose
You
yourself
have
despite
to
of
Don't
you
lose
have to set your
yourself.
own standards.
That's it.
I was gonna
Like,
sing
don't
Eminem. I
lose
forgot the
yourself.
lyrics.
What
Don't
Better
lose
lose
yourself
yourself in
in
the
spite So yeah, I mean,
Don't
it was
lose
really,
yourself in. I
I
feel
said-
like in Nigeria, okay, being an African country, I feel like it's very easy for people to project this type of appearance on you.
Yeah.
But you need to be able to be confident in yourself. And you said
One.
this: if you like what you look like and you're confident, you determine your own modesty. And
Yeah.
I'm shy. So
But wait, let me ask you one before we go. This is the last question.
Oh,
This
yeah,
is the last
man.
one.
last test,
Because
last,
I'm trying to understand
Last
how
test.
how you. So for instance, now you like to dress showing. You understand showing.
So what your
You
mama
get me?
gave you, or what you
Show
paid
your mama
for.
gave you, yeah. But now you're in an environment that people are
Dun,
not.
dun.
People are. You don't work out for markets before.
Yeah.
You don't go on the market before.
Oh my, not
Oh,
a market,
no.
but Yaba market.
You never go on
Echo.
this market. Fine get.
No, oh god.
Fine
It's
get.
you
They
don't
touch
even
you.
have to go to the
Fine
market for that
get.
to happen. Just
I'm
walking
just
on
saying
the road.
on the road. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. But you know, for a fact that no offense, I'm still saying that everyone can do what they want with their body, dress what you like. But you know for a fact that there are some people, because of the way they dress,
Mhm.
that's gonna happen to them. You know, right?
No,
No.
They harass Hijabi
No,
for
they
market
go harass. No.
they
I'm not saying.
see,
I'm not saying the harassment no go reach everybody.
Mm.
They must drag your hand. They must touch. But I'm saying, you know the ones I'm talking about.
That is for me. That is not my own
No,
responsibility.
it's not. No, I'm just saying. Okay, no, but all I'm saying is, so imagine if that's somewhere you have to walk every day to walk, and you now notice that it's because of what I'm wearing. That's why people talk to
But
me
you
like
said
this.
now, if you wear jalame, wear dashiki, they
No,
feel harassed if
No,
you get
they
yash.
will still.
So
That's
people
what I'm
like me
saying.
that will just walk past, they don't even know it's you.
It's more like you having.
It's
It's more like you having a house and then you have a door,
Uh-huh.
right? But then because of the area you live in, you have the door, but then you still have to put like a
So
protector
then
or something.
modesty, like I said, modesty then boils down to what you're comfortable with.
What you're
So if you know
comfortable- if
you
you're
don't want to be,
comfortable with passing
if you
down,
wait,
then
if you
exactly. So
feel,
then do you,
remember
man.
It still
it's a
boils down to the
perception.
fact that you still have to set your own
You know, it's
modesty.
actually a perception because you might feel like they're harassing you because of how you look. They might be harassing you because they want you to buy markets.
No, it's
That
not.
one,
That one is harassing because of how you
that one
look.
will be.
So I
Yeah,
feel like it's
I
a
think
perception.
this
Whatever
was-
makes you
Yeah,
feel
it's actually a
comfortable,
perception, so-
whatever you can carry your head up high, and if someone tries to come for you, you ready? You
And
ready
you're
to
like,
papa?
exactly.
What's good? Then
So
that's
yeah,
you.
that's
Yeah.
takeaway from today. My own what I have to tell people is be modest for you. Do
Be
what is
modest for you.
modesty to you.
I love
Do
it.
what works for you and have your own standard.
See, shake your money, make a beg,
Period.
enjoy your life.
See you guys
I'ma do
next
what you like, I
time.
swear.
Yeah.
Bye.
This was a child.
Bye.
See you all next time, Moshe.